Hi, I'm Bob Power. We're pleased to be joined today by Henk Jan Brinke, Senior Vice President of Investor Relations at Ahold Delhaize, which trades on our OTCQX International Premier Market under the symbols ADRNY. Henk, welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Bob. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Henk, tell us a bit about Ahold Delhaize and particularly some of your well-known U.S. brands such as Stop & Shop, Peapod, and Food Lion.
Yeah, happy to. We're in an exciting time still because in the summer of 16 we brought together two successful food retail companies, former Ahold and Delhaize, two successful operating supermarkets in both Europe and the US, to form today one of the largest retail companies in the world, doing annually more than $65 billion, with a strong financial footing, very cash generative business. And I can imagine that neither Ahold or Delhaize may sound all too familiar, but indeed we operate large chains of supermarkets not only in Europe with leading positions, but also basically all across the eastern seaboard with Hannaford, Stop & Shop, Giant, Food Lion, and not only supermarkets, which is the lion's share of the business, but we're also the largest online grocer in the US under the name of Peapod. So all in all, we have more than 6,000 stores, predominantly supermarkets, and a fast-growing online business as well.
Well, interesting. Henk, tell us what are the opportunities and hurdles and challenges in being a world's leading food retailer?
Yeah, the retail industry, well, certainly the food retail industry, is a competitive one, as you're probably all aware. I think the opportunity we have is that food retail, by its nature, you could argue, is a local business because people tend to love, hopefully, or hate their local store. So people grew up with it, the brand. So strong local brands are key to the success in operating in food retail. Probably something you could recognize as a customer. On the other hand, and we have strong leading brands that have been around for generations, like Stop & Shop and Food Lion. On the other hand, with the merger, we now have as I said, more than $65 billion company. So it allows us to operate strong local brands on one hand, which is very relevant to customers, and on the other hand, leverage our global scale by realizing a very substantial amount of synergies, as well as executing best practices. So it's a bit the best of both worlds. Have strong local brands on one hand and be a global, large leverage company on the other hand.
Interesting. So tell us about the company's growth plans for the next 6 months.
Yeah, I think there are two key elements that both I kind of touched upon. First of all, the merger completed in the middle of last year, but it'll take a few years to completely integrate the companies. We'll leave the brands as is because that's the cornerstone of the business, but integrating the back office, if you wish, is or sharing services where we can is clearly, integrate is not the right word, sharing business services where it makes sense, we will, realizing these synergies. So that's the focal point. And in the meantime, strengthening the local businesses. And a separate channel of growth is clearly e-commerce. As I said, we have with Peapod the leading e-commerce business in the grocery business in the US, but also in the Benelux, so that's the Netherlands and Belgium. We are by far the leading online grocer, and that's clearly an alley of growth, where we are currently doing about $2.5 billion in online sales, which we aim to double in 2020.
Thanks, Henk. Your company has been traded on our OTCQX International Premier Market since 2010. Can you tell us about your experience being traded on OTCQX?
Yeah, OTCQX for us is a great platform to trade or for investors trading ADRs. It's proven to be reliable. It's proven to be successfully run, which is important in this environment clearly. And at the same time, for us, it is a very efficient and effective way to provide US investors with company news, press releases and what have you. So it trades as a well-managed platform for investors, as well as it serves as a communication channel for us as a company.
So with your high presence in the US, it serves as a good conduit for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. What else would you like investors to know about Ahold Delhaize?
I think we are unique in a sense that in food retail that we do not believe in one brand in a one-size-fits-all manner. We think again that food retail for customers is local in its nature, and at the same time leveraging the scale and realizing the synergies as being one of the largest retail companies in the world that sets us apart from quite a few of our competitors. So that's an interesting element of the company, to say the least. Very cash generative, as what we've shown so far, and hopefully will continue to show, is to, with this cash generation, to maintain a balance between investing in growth in supermarkets and e-commerce and smaller formats, and at the same time return excess liquidity to shareholders through an interesting dividend and doing like the share buyback program of returning about €1 billion of cash through a share buyback program. So growing the business and returning excess liquidity to shareholders, that is the recipe from our financial strategy going forward.
Well, thank you very much, Henk, for joining us, and we wish you continued success.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bob. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.